Hi, my name is Thida and I'm one of the speech pathologists here at Cooey Speech Pathology.
And my name is Ashley and I'm one of our occupational therapists here at Cooey. Today we are online to show you a little bit about how to incorporate some fine motor skills and language into something that we do every day, and that is cooking.
So language is the sentences, grammar and words that we use to be able to share meaning to another person and to understand meaning. And this can be both through speaking and listening, but also with reading and writing. Ash, what is fine motor skills?
So fine motor theatre, anything that we're going to do to use our hands. So things like when we're rolling, when we're pinching, getting those fingers in.
If you want some more information about what language or fine motor skills are, you can go to our website and there is heaps of blogs and YouTube video links there that you can access that goes through what those skills are and lots of different ways to work on them and why they're important.
Often your OT or your speechy, they might be recommending for you to do home practice with your little ones after coming into sessions. And we know, Thida, that sometimes finding dedicated opportunities or time during your day can be really tricky to get that extra practice in.
100%. And if it's not something that you and the child do every day, then it may not be something that feels super important or meaningful for the child. And what we know in a lot of research is that children will best learn language when they're doing something that's really motivating and important to them.
And you know, same with developing other motor skills, so that's fine motor or gross motor. Doing something that we're doing every day where, you know, even opportunities the whole family can get involved, that little bit of extra motivation, and cooking is a really great one.
It's a perfect one for those. Yeah. We are now going to take you through our top tips for how to develop language and fine motor skills in your cooking activities, and also tell you some of our favorite recipes to do these in.
Let's get started.
Yes.
When we're thinking about language skills and fine motor skill development, cooking in the kitchen offers so many opportunities to have a go and get some hands-on practice. So if we're looking at our fine motor skill development, some easy activities or easy exercises that we can do when we're engaging in these tasks are things like pinching, grasping, cutting, using our both of hands together, and performing skills and tasks that require in-hand manipulation.
And there are 5 simple language strategies that you can use while you're doing these fine motor practice skills. And those are labeling, which is saying what an item is or what an action is called. Recasting, which is when you repeat a sentence back to the child with some corrections in their grammar or wording. Narration, which is when you're saying what you and or the child are doing. Modeling, which is when you are using example sentences that have the target words you're trying to work on. And choice questioning, which is when you're asking a question and you're giving choices of example answers for the child to copy. All of these strategies will grow a child's vocabulary and their sentence structure, both to help them understand and use their language. And these strategies can then be used to help the child develop their ability to put many sentences together to be able to explain or share more detailed or complicated ideas.
So Thida, should we go through some of our favorite recipes to practice these skills in?
Let's do it.
I've already got some pre-made cookie dough. We have cheated a little bit, but at home, if you guys are up to it, making your own batch of cookie dough mix. All right, so Thida, I'll give you half today.
Perfect, thank you.
Big half. So first thing we can do is practice some rolling. So rolling our cookie dough together, whether it's in one big piece or smaller pieces, is a really great skill, practicing using our 2 hands together. So getting them to perform, you know, actions at the same time.
And while you're rolling, this is actually a wonderful opportunity to do some language modeling, where I'm using some sentences with some of the words I might be wanting to teach the child. Maybe roll is one of our words. I will roll the cookie dough ball. Or you are rolling the cookie dough bowl. And because we're modeling sentences, this is then a great opportunity to do some of that narration I talked about, which is when you might be describing what you are doing or what the child is doing. You are squeezing that cookie dough ball. Oh, you are squeezing really tight. Now you're rolling the ball. Now you're mashing the ball. Easy as that.
Another one to throw in there, Thida, pinching. So if, like us, you've chosen something that's a bit too big and you don't want a giant cookie at the end of it, you can go ahead and pinch into smaller pieces. So pinching and putting them down on your baking tray or on your chopping board, whatever it is that you're using. Really thinking about what fingers we're wanting our child to use. So are we focusing on our index finger and our thumb, or are we going to go for a tripod grip with all 3 fingers there?
And as you're pinching, this is a great opportunity to model language again, but specifically some describing type language. You are pinching a small piece. Oh, this piece is very sticky. Let's push the pieces down. Oh, my hands are all gooey.
And Thida, you've got one more tool just on the other side of you there that we can use. Yeah. So even things like cutting out, whether it's Play-Doh or cookie dough, some little shapes that we can use, getting those two hands together, coordinating the movement. So flattening out, using that palm, using your fingertips, and then pushing down on your cookie dough.
And while you're doing this and making choices about which cutter you're using, what you're doing with the dough, this is a great opportunity to come into our narration strategy, describing what you're doing and then what your little one is choosing to do. Oh, you're picking the flower cutout. Oh, you have the hippo, it's next to your dough. You're mashing a ball. Oh, you're pressing the cookie dough down. Oh, it's nice and flat.
Some other really great recipes that we enjoy doing are things like fruit skewers. So getting that pincer grasp again, threading the fruit onto the skewer is a really great one. And even things like pizza making as well, opportunities to, you know, sprinkle the cheese over the top of the pizza. Again, rolling two hands out the dough to make it bigger, flattening it around. If you want to give it a go, throwing it up. I don't know about you, Thida.
No, every time I throw, I drop it. But those are really good recipes, and some of my favorite as well for that strategy of the choice questions. So because those recipes, the fruit skewers, the pizza, have lots of different ingredients that you can make choices between, and decisions you need to make about when things go in, how much, what you're doing. It's a lovely opportunity to be asking your child those questions and giving them the options. Do we put the cheese on first, or do we put the tomato sauce on first? And you'll notice when I'm giving these choices, I'm giving the options as a full sentence, because then it's so much easier for the child to have a go practicing that sentence, because I've just given them some examples of what to use. Now, you don't have to use a full sentence when you're giving these choices to your child. Maybe they're not there yet. I would recommend picking choices that are probably one step above the language your child's already using. So if they're at a level where perhaps they're not quite confident using any words yet, I would be modeling maybe 1 or 2 words when I give those choices. If they're using a couple of words together and I want them to use some more to make a full sentence, then I would be modeling about a 5-word sentence. So do we want to pick the cheese or pick the tomato sauce? And then if your child's already there and you're wanting to expand even further and get some really long sentences, then your choices are those long sentences. And you can make them long either with a lot of details, like do you want to pick the long stringy cheese or the small grainy cheese? Or you can make them long by throwing in a because or a so or to make that sentence complex and explain the reason why you're making those choices. So do you want to put the cheese on so that we can stick all of the ingredients on when it melts? Or should we pick the sauce so the cheese goes on top and it gets very gooey? While you're making cookies, what you can do is use the labeling strategy to point out what things are and the different actions we're doing. So I can go, oh, we have a fish. We got the heart. We have the flower. I could even do the sizes. Oh, it's small. It's big. It's purple. And I can also point out the actions the child's doing. You're pressing, you're squeezing, you're pulling, you're peeling. As you're labeling, and your child might be having a go repeating some of the words after you, or even labeling some of the things you're doing, then you can use the recasting strategy to repeat some of the statements they say back to them with an extra word.
I think I'm going to use the small.
Oh, I'm picking the small flower.
Can I have the heart?
Can I have the pink heart?
I need more dough.
I need more cookie dough. 1 heart.
2.
2 hearts.
All done.
I'm all done.
We hope you found some of these strategies and some of these tips helpful today. Really, we encourage you to get in the kitchen and to help your child and practice those language and fine motor skills.
Yeah. And comment below what activities you have like doing with your little ones, what some of your favorite recipes are, and which of these strategies was most helpful for you.
Happy cooking!
Enjoy!